My fellow citizens, residents and friends of Nevis. 2 weeks ago, on the 11th of July, 2011, the people of Nevis and the people of the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis and the whole world generally were the victims of the biggest electoral fraud ever committed against the people of Nevis. In that election, a government which claimed that it had done quote-unquote a good job was part of a conspiracy to disenfranchise more than 244 persons of their right to vote and to create in this country a legacy of illegal behavior. The NRP government deliberately planned, with the help of its supporters and instigated by well-known persons in the Labour government in St. Kitts, to remove the names of these persons who are known CCM supporters from the list of voters. Those of us who have followed this saga would realize that it was a diabolical scheme, a conspiracy to keep the NRP in government in Nevis at all and at any cost, to protect the leaders of that government from being exposed for the corruption and mismanagement over the past 5 years, and the obvious nepotism and serious lack of transparency, which was the order of the day under the Nevis Reformation Party. This conspiracy was calculated to get the Honourable Patrice Nisbet elected in the St. James district, to continue to bolster up the flagging Douglas regime in St. Kitts by not only removing from the voters list the names of more than 25 persons who are known CCM supporters, but they also sought to manipulate the election by padding the voters list, especially in the Butlers and Fountain districts, polling divisions, with hundreds of voters from St. Kitts who have never lived in Nevis, and with hundreds of voters from overseas who were never properly or legally registered to vote because they never came to Nevis to be registered. The NRP Douglas Labour Coalition also schemed to cheat the Honourable Mark Brantley from being elected in the St. John's district by removing more than 171 names of voters who are known supporters of the CCM party and who would, in a fair election, have voted for the Honourable Mark Brantley and would have surely seen a CCM party elected to government in Nevis. To compound this situation and to give full effect to their diabolical conspiracy to deny the people of Nevis a government of their choosing, the NRP Douglas Labour government contaminated the voters list by encouraging persons from St. Kitts, especially St. Paul's, Newton Ground and Dearby, to illegally register to vote in the Prospect and Cox areas of the St. John's district, all in an effort to prevent the lawful and free and fair election of the Honourable Mark Brantley. My fellow citizens, lest we forget, this conspiracy and diabolical scheme of the NRP Douglas Labour Coalition had inside help in the electoral office. You will recall the numerous complaints and objections which were raised to the illegal registration of persons and the serious complaints and objections to the legal removal of the names of persons whose names were already on the list of voters as at January 2011, and a large number of whom had voted in the January 2010 federal elections. You will recall as well that the judge of the High Court in Nevis ruled on 8th July that the action of the registration officer in removing the names of those 244 persons and was unlawful and a nullity. Sadly, not one voice was raised to get the supervisor of elections and the registration officer to replace the names on the list except the voice of the CCM party after the Electoral Commission by letter of the 26th of May 2011 had directed the supervisor of election to retain the names of those persons on the voters list. And that is why we continue to fight the cause of the people of Nevis, to ensure that the conspiracy to have more than 244 persons who were disenfranchised from their right to vote get that decision condemned, and the more than 171 persons who were denied the right to vote in the St. John's district to get them restored to vote, and in so doing have the result of the election of 11th July in the St. John's district declared null and void in the court. This is why our legal experts have been working tirelessly to prepare the election petition to be filed sometime this week. It is our expectation that our cause will be successful, and this diabolical scheme will be further exposed, and the NRP representative in the St. John's district will be removed, and the people allowed to elect their representative in a free and fair contest. We are craving the support of all our people, and if the calls and the expressions of encouragement are indicative of the way people feel, then we have a wide support among the people here in Nevis and St. Kitts and our people overseas as well. This conspiracy and obvious disregard for the law and the constitution of our country must say to us that the governments of St. Kitts and Nevis have no moral authority to govern this country. What message are they sending to the people of this country, especially our youth? Are the persons in authority in this country saying that it is okay to engage in illegal activity as long as it will benefit the person who does the wrong? Are they saying that the practice of democracy can be manipulated so that those in government can remain in office to continue their corrupt practices? What are they saying to our people? What are they saying to our young people especially? Are they saying that it's all right to become involved in illegal activity and criminal activity if there's some benefit to be gained? I think not, because this is clearly something that we cannot be signaling to our people, and that is why we are contesting this election and taking the matter to the court. My fellow citizens, none of us can take any comfort from the type of activity which I have outlined above in this statement. The fact that we have seen the actions of high-placed public servants which threaten the disenfranchisement of citizens of this country without due process and clearly not based on any principle of justice or equality must make us aware that we have to take a stand and fight this matter until justice and right prevail for those who have been disenfranchised. It is my understanding that some persons who have sworn affidavits have been threatened by the NRP, and it appears too that there have been threats of victimization of such persons who the NRP believes have supported the CCM. This latest in the saga of the disenfranchisement of our people and the threat against nationals and non-nationals alike must be seen as part of this conspiracy to deny persons the right of association, to deny their rights to vote for whom they want, and must be condemned. We pray that God will continue to bless our efforts to seek justice and righteousness for our people, and to protect and preserve our democracy. May God bless us all in this endeavor.